In this video I'm going to create this flagpole mount. It looks like this. It's a drawing from CAD/CAM tutorial. And I will begin with this backplate. The size is 60, 95 and 27 and the thickness is 8. So I will begin to drag an extrude shape and drop it here in the scene. Then I go to IntelliShape level and right click, go to Edit Cross Section. And usually it's the display all, but I will go to hide all. Then I use the W key to activate look at command. You have it down here as well. I click here. Then I select this line. Then I double click this dimension. Here I type 95 and hit enter. Then I drag this line to the Y axis. So it will be positioned in the center. Then I select that line and double click this dimension and uncheck maintain and conditions. Here I type 27 divided by 2. Then I come up here, select that line, double click the dimension, uncheck that. That box here will be 30, like so, and then I select that line and delete it. Select all lines, and then I choose mirror and select the Y axis and click OK. Then I click finish up here, and the thickness of this one is 8. And then I select it in part level, turn on the tribal to rotate it in this direction 90 degrees. And then I will blend these edges. The radius is 8 up here and 5 down here. So I press S key on the keyboard and select blend edges. Select that edge. Here I type 8, hit enter, do the same there. And here I select that edge, and here I type 5 and hit enter and do the same on this edge here. Let's see now, like so, and hit enter. Then I will cut some holes. These 3, the diameter is 5.25, and I will grab a cut cylinder, drop it here on the center point, change the diameter to 5.25, and then I grab this handle and snap it to the bottom, turn on the tribal, then I right click and drag the center handle, use the shift key to snap to this arc here so that the hole and the tribal will be positioned on the center point of the arc, and drop it there. Click link, and reset tribal is also checked, because when I click OK, the tribal will be positioned in the center of that copy. Then I right click and drag, and I will drop the hole here on the midpoint. Click link, and I will move the hole up 6 millimeters, like so, and then turn off the tribal. The next step will be to use shell feature on this side. So I will go to feature. You'll find it here as well, but for me with this small window it's easier to go to feature. So I will select shell part, select this face, and the wall thickness is 5 millimeters. We have it here, and I can also click the preview button to see how it will look like, and I'm satisfied, so I click OK. Then we need some ribs here, and I will use the rib feature to do that. And but first I have to add a sketch to tell the feature where to put the ribs. So I use the sketch command here, a 2D shape, and I click here on the midpoint, then display all. Then I right click, choose 2-point line, and I will click here on the center point and drag a line like so. Do the same on this side. And then I press escape. I will draw only 2 lines, because if I draw a line for that rib here, that rib will go through the whole part. So I begin with creating 2 ribs. But first I have to change the angle of this line. So I click here on this side of the midpoint, double click the dimension, minus 135. Click on this line, or this line here. That will be minus 45. Then I click finish. Now I can use the rib feature up here. Select the part, and the profile is already selected, but we see that this red arrow is pointing in this direction, so I have to check reverse direction. And the thickness of the ribs are 3 millimeters, so I change that here. Then click OK, like so. And now I will create this rib. I will use an extrude shape to do that, so I drag an extrude shape, drop it here on the center point or midpoint. Then I right click and push this handle to change in both directions. Drop it there, type 3 and hit enter. Then I grab this handle, snap it to this edge, and I grab this handle to snap to this intersection here. And then the height handle and snap it to this side. So now we have the ribs in place. Next step is to add this cylinder. The length of the cylinder is 95 and the diameter is 34.5. So I will drag the cylinder, drop it here on this point, change the diameter to 34.5, the length to 95, and the height, or the center of that cylinder, is 40 millimeters from the bottom. So I will use the tri-ball. Let's see now. I will do like this. Turn on the tri-ball, right click, and edit distance from point, the bottom, that's 40, and hit enter. Now I can rotate it 45 degrees, like so, 45. And then this side should be attached to the back plate. I will remove the tri-ball. And to do that I will grab this handle and move it up a bit. Then I right click the feature and choose backward and condition. We see that we have 3 options here. I will choose the extrude to surface. Select that surface and click here finish shape. So it will look like that. And next I will create this part, this one, and I will use an extrude shape to do that. So I grab an extrude shape, drop it here on the midpoint, and the width of that shape should be the same as the tube or the cylinder. That's 34.5. So I will right click and push, type 34.5, and the length of it is 80 from the back plate. So I click on this handle, type 80 and hit enter. Then I will add 2 blends. Select this edge, grab this handle and snap it to the midpoint here. Then I click on the other side. click OK. Then I have to move this part up a bit. So I select it in IntelliShape level, turn on the tribal, and then I will move the tribal and right click the center handle and place it to the center point of this blend. Lock the tribal, and the center of this part should be 48 from the bottom. So I right click this handle here, edit distance from point, the bottom, that's 48, like so. And we see that the this part should be attached to the cylinder. So I will grab this handle and drag it a bit. Then I right click the IntelliShape, and here we have backward end condition. We have three options here, and in this case next will work, extrude to next. And that's one here. I click OK. Now we see that the this end will go to the backplate, but if I grab this handle and drag it to this position, it will snap to the cylinder. So now we have it in right position. Drag this up a bit. Then I will remove some material, 45 degrees here. We see the angle here. To do that, I will use draft faces. So, and first select neutral plane, that will be this plane on this side, but I have to move it, so I will use the tribal. Right click the handle, choose to point, and I will select this point like so, turn off the tribal, then draft faces will be this face and 45 degrees. Then I click OK. Now I have removed that material. Then I have to cut some material here. I will use a cut extrude, drop it here. I will do like this, grab that handle, move it about forward a bit. Then I use the tribal, select this axis, rotate it in this direction, 45. And we see that the thickness is 21.5, so I will right click this height handle, edit distance from this point, 21.5. Then I will grab this handle to adjust the length a bit, and this one as well. Then I right click this handle, select to point, and it will be moved to this point here. Let's see now, like so. So this will be the end of the first video. I will continue in the next video.